I go any further, I completely smashed my camera's display. I can only see like 1/4 of the entire picture. So if my head is like halfway out of the frame or something, you'll understand why. So over spring break, my dad and I went to Rome. Now, Rome is basically the center of it all. It's the capital of Italy. It's one of the biggest cities in Western Europe and Europe in general. It's the capital of the ancient world, so on and so forth. And in this video, I'm just going to be talking about some sites in there, like major sites. Because in Rome, there's a lot of different sites, and I'm not going to be able to fit them all in this video. I'm also going to be talking about just, like, how Rome is like and whatnot, because usually they don't tell you that in a guidebook, and, you know, why not? So there are two different types of attractions in Rome. There's the ancient stuff, and then there's the stuff associated with the church. Now, for anything ancient, it's very important to mention the Forum. And by Forum, I mean the center of Rome, and therefore the Roman Empire, for several centuries. Here you can find various, like, ruins. You can find the pillar, which was given to Rome by Constantinople. You can find the pillars of the Temple of Saturn, so on and so forth. You can also find Palatine Hill, which was where the emperors lived, and the Colosseum, which is right next to it. It's also worth noting the Pantheon. The Pantheon was a temple built to all the gods in the Roman Pantheon. After all, Pan means all, and Theon means gods. The reason why it's so important is because it has this massive dome. It was only built in 80 AD, but nevertheless it inspired the Renaissance. It literally takes up half of the height. It's quite amazing. The most important church-associated attraction is obviously Vatican City and anything associated with it. Now obviously there's St. Peter's Square with all its colonnades by Bernini and its fountains and its Egyptian obelisk and stuff in the exterior of St. Peter's Basilica. Just north of it, still in the boundaries of Vatican City, are the Vatican Museums. Vatican Museums are more or less the best museums in the world. They contain, among other things, the Sistine Chapel and the apartments of the Pope. Now obviously, since the Pope was one of the richest men in the world and one of the most politically influential, he had a lot of nice wallpaper and stuff like that. When I mean nice wallpaper, I mean stuff painted by Michelangelo, you know? Nice wallpaper, huh? So in this, you can literally just walk for 10 to 12 hours, and you still won't see everything. You can see, like, the Hall of Geography, where they have, like, awesome roof and stuff, and you can also see the Raphael rooms, which I really liked. And, of course, the Sistine Chapel, which is considered the greatest work of art made by any single man. It's just amazing what they have there. Then, of course, there's St. Peter's Basilica. The church. Like, the church. It's huge, first of all. It's exceptionally pretty. It's like, you know, what can you say? It's St. Peter's Basilica. It's also worth noting the 4 major basilicas, all of which are, of course, in Rome. St. Paul's outside of the walls, Santa Maria Maggiore, St. John and the Laterans, and, of course, St. Peter's Basilica. Now on to why Rome is such a unique city. Because obviously it's very unique. It has the Pope, it was the center of the world for more or less 1,000 years, it's the center of the modern-day Italian government, so on and so forth. But when you look at it in the way that I am right now, you can also see it as like a microcosm of everything. I mean, after all, it went through downfalls and then came up, and to this day there are many people who live there. It's the largest city in Italy, and it's one of the centers of the country. The reason why I call it a microcosm is that if you pass through it and you didn't go to the old town where everything is, honestly, it just looks like a normal European city. And Rome just shows the history of the world in general. It was high, then it's low, and then it was sort of high again, and now it's just, you know, Rome. So it's a microcosm of everything, but still retains an obvious uniqueness. That's why Rome is so unique. Despite having all that cool stuff, it's just a city, just like any other city. Unlike Venice, which is slowly but surely losing its status as an actual city, Rome still has, in its forums, immigrants of all walks of life trying to selling you cheap stuff, just like they did 2,000 years ago. I mean, where else can you find that? So if you ever get the chance to go to Rome, then do so, because Rome is really cool, and in general Italy is really cool. It's old stuff, but there's still modern day culture there, and I really like Italy. CatOwlFilms out. Woo!